Hey, we had an exciting week for Children's Church last week, and I know you've probably heard some good things, and now it's your week to teach. So we want to go over the basics of what it looks like so you have complete knowledge of when you're coming into this new experience.
Yep. Children's Church will start at 10:30, straight from Sunday school. The Sunday school teachers will be bringing those kids at 10:30 with the sign-in, sign-out sheet. One of you will be stationed right there at the sign-in, sign-out table at the entry of the fellowship hall. You'll get those kids in with their sign-in sheet. As new kids arrive, you'll just add their names into what age category on those sign-in sheets. We'll be accepting kids straight up until the worship time at 10:45. From 10:30 to 10:45, one of you teachers can offer them snack over in front of the kitchen, and that will be from 10:30 to 10:45. As they finish snack, those kids they can go on to stations, and we have stations set up around the basement for them. The Wii, a Lego table, an art table, some games, and they're free to just go and enjoy all that. Last week they loved it. At 11 o'clock, Amanda will start with our new praise and worship team. The kids will come over and start praise and worship. That goes straight into our video-led lesson. That took us to about 11:30. At 11:30, we'll dismiss the kids to the classes, and then that's when you as teachers will go with your lesson that's been emailed to you, and you will have a small group time with them from 11:30 till noon. At noon, or as soon as you finish, you can then bring the kids back out to the main fellowship hall. They can then go and do stations and have fun until the service is over. It's great. We don't have to wait in the classroom until service is over. We just go ahead and bring them out, and they can have fun while they're waiting for parents. One of you teachers needs to be at the sign-in, sign-out table, ready to receive parents and get the kids signed out.
And so what we wanted to do is quickly go over the curriculum. You'll find not only in your email you'll find a curriculum, but in each room you'll also see this blue book that will have each week's curriculum. Now what we're going to do is we're going to keep each week's lesson color-coded. As you can see, white was last week. You guys are orange, and you can see you'll also have green and purple in your books. Those are for the next 2 weeks of the month. So as you're orange, that's where you'll flip immediately. It also says it at the top, just so you know, lesson 2, so you'll know. And these small group activities are not meant to teach the lesson. They're actually meant to just emphasize it and have the kids do hands-on activities to really get them thinking about what those points are. This week's main point is faithfulness. I will do what I say I will do. The whole curriculum theme is teaching about the fruits of the Spirit. Last week we talked on goodness, and this week we're on faithfulness. And so let me just quickly go through what these sheets look like. There's a purpose and description right at the top, and that just kind of gives you a heads up about what they're teaching in their curriculum, and then why they're teaching it. Then you'll have a materials needed section. And then you'll see these megaphones. These megaphones actually represent what you will say to your class. You can just read right off the megaphone sections as you do these activities. You will probably need to run into your rooms and maybe get a couple things prepared each week. The best time to do that is either probably during worship time, because as soon as we start worship, the youth team and the leader will be kind of handling that, so you can run into your rooms and kind of set up what you need to set up, cut out anything, make sure everything else is working. Let me see. So this first one is called Big Promise, Little Promise, and let me just give you an example. I won't go over every activity this week, but I'll give you this first example. Right away you come in with this and say, let's make up a symbol that's going to mean big promise, and have the children figure out what is going to represent big promise. Maybe like, big promise, and then what represents little promise, and then it has you read different promises on here, and they make a symbol if they think it's a big promise or do they think it's a little promise. And then at the conclusion, you're basically saying, okay, you said this was big, this was little, but the truth is a promise, and somebody's disappointed when you don't fulfill on your word. And so you can kind of see how that's cool. There's 4 activities this week. We will always have between 2 and 4. You can go in any order you would like with those small group activities. You may not get in all 4. So definitely start with the ones you like, space it out so that if you end up not getting to one, it's not the one you really liked. There is one activity you do need materials for this week. I'll give you a little heads up on it. It's called Promise Breakers, and you'll play like a shell game with the kids. You're going to need some cups that you can't see through. I would recommend like coffee mugs from home, and a small ball or rock even, something, and then you would move it around and you would tell them things that these megaphones will tell you what to say, and at the end you end up kind of not telling them the truth and then discussing how does that make you feel when you discovered I wasn't telling you the truth. And so when you read these activities, I think you're going to really dig it, and the kids will really get engaged and not be bored, and you aren't feeling like you have to carry the load of the entire lesson, but more emphasizing what they're already learning.
Yes. So you will go over that. We also wanted to mention at the sign-out table, there will be a take-home paper that will also be orange for the color of the week. That is something...
It's called a family devotional.
We explain that to the kids, but they'll take, their parents will receive that, or they will at the sign-out table. If they bring that back and that they've completed something, they will get a weekly prize, and then monthly we're going to draw for a bigger prize. So.
And we'll also have a box on that table this week. For those who are doing sign in and sign out, and that's for when they bring back their paper, they'll put that right in the box. So you'll see that at the sign in table too. And they might ask you, where should I put this? And there'll be a box at the sign in table.
Yeah. So thank you all so much. Hopefully this gives you an
excited.
idea, and we look forward to seeing you Sunday. Thanks.
Bye.